We got the RGB T-Molding back on the live stream this week. Sorry, you guys. I've been trying to get to live like last week, I think, into this week. David has been gone on vacation. So I've been kind of manning the phone's emails. So I'm trying to do the best I can do to kind of keep everything in progress and keep everything moving on top of giving you some live stream stuff. We can run through a few things too as well this week. I know that bus air is one of the biggest things that people are coming across. So it's a real simple fix. I think it's more or less for just drive copying and things like that, if I believe. But all you other IT guys out there that kind of help with us fix software, things like that on machines, probably know a little bit better than I do. Um, so I don't think it's really important to have it running, and I think that's kind of what David said. So ultimately, we'll just shut it off for now on startup. I believe you can just go right to the website, that Damon Tools website, Damon, whatever it is, and just download the new update from there, and then that'll get rid of your error if you guys use that stuff. But I believe you don't need to have it, and you don't need to have it running, unless I am wrong about that. But again, that's like I said, David said it wasn't. I don't think it really does much of anything. To me, when I kind of open it up and stuff, it looks more or less for like drive copying or bringing games and things like that. Like I said, some of you guys might use the stuff. So we'll run through that quick. And again, like always, if you guys have any questions, things like that, just let me know. Again, I will answer them the best that I can. And yeah, we'll get into it. If you guys got any game requests, things like that too, feel free to comment below. And we'll get those games up and going. See how bad I can get my butt whooped. What's up, Rob? So yeah, I just like I said, whipped out the T-Molding machine again, threw some drives in her just to get her up and running, kind of show you guys a few things. So let's get into it. So most of you, when you're firing up your machine, I'll try to zoom in, you guys. All right, like most of you, when you first fire up your machine, you might be getting this initialization error, and for that disk soft service running. So let's just get that fixed quick, and then we can jump into the fun stuff. How to map a gun in RetroArch. I believe we do not do any mapping of guns in RetroArch. I can definitely look into there and see. Again, this machine doesn't have any IR sensors or anything in it for guns. So I'm not going to be able to do any gun tracing or anything to do an X or Y axis. I can kind of look into it, but I'm pretty sure none of our gun games run out of RetroArch. We use like the Demule shooter and things like that on the unit. So I don't know what game you're trying to play. So just go right off the desktop and I'll show you. There's Duck Hunt in our gun folder, and that's already pre-set up. So like I said, there shouldn't have to be anything with that. But again, let's fix this first. We can, like I said, and I'll show you where the Duck Hunt game is for NES. Typically, I play all your light gun games in our light gun folder. But like I said, if you guys are having this error here, this bus error, I'll show you a quick, easy fix. Again, it's not a big deal if it pops up, things like that. But here, I'll show you how to fix this quick. We can just turn it off ultimately. So bottom left, start. Settings, apps. This is just an easy way to just turn it off so it quits popping up on you guys. So start up. And then you can see right there where I'm on Damon Tools Lights. It's just basically starts up with Windows startup. We can just uncheck that. for now, and then that will not start it up. But again, like I said, for those that use that, possibly you can go to the website and update it, things like that. And that'll make the error go away. So again, that's nothing to be too concerned about with the machine. If you guys get that error, sorry, just moving the camera. See if I can get kind of more of a straight on shot. But let's go find that duck hunt game. So I'm just relaunching Big Box here. Again, good old startup. So I might just kind of tilt this maybe just a hair more this way because it kind of looks like I might have been standing in the camera. So, Wild You Blame. Hi, how we doing? All right. So, you're going to play all your light gun games right out of light gun folders. That's where everything is already pre-configured and set up for you guys. So that's just right where I'm going to go. Duck Hunt should be right in there. So if we come in here, it should be in here. I mean, is it not in here? Should be in here. I swear, played it on the machine. It's just a matter of finding it. Is it just called Duck Hunt? I mean, there's no beginning to that, right? Yeah, verse Duck Hunt. Here it is. Yeah, it's called Verse Duck Hunt. So yeah, light gun folder. I knew it was in here. So gun games. This is where you'll find it. So we are in our IR light gun games. And then versus Duck Hunt. And this should be pre-configured for you, bud. You shouldn't have to do any of that RetroArch stuff. Like I said, we don't use that for light gun stuff. Yeah, just remember to always come into those two folders. You know, a lot of our expansion stuff is going to be right in the gun games folder. So like the games that got it added over the years with the drives, a lot of those newer gun games are going to be within inside of this folder. But yeah, IR light gun games versus Duck Hunt. So hopefully that all works out for you. There. I would, like I said, I would go in and play the game, but I don't have any gun setup for this thing at all because like I said, this was just a trial on fitting the T-molding, see how the lighting was going to work, see how the new design was all going to work out and everything like that. So it's just, like I said, I didn't put guns or anything on it. This machine as well is available for purchase. We can kind of walk around it. The new RGB T-molding with the remote. We go all the way around the machine now with the lighting. This unit, active marquee, 43-inch active marquee, 50-inch screen. We got a Scantron layout going on. Non-lighted buttons or any of that. Obviously, you could upgrade the panel, RGB buttons, add spinners, all the accessories and things that you wanted to. Just kind of do a little walk around for a minute. There we go. Yeah, just let me know on any game requests, any questions, things like that. Again, like I said, I will help you out the best I can. I don't think there's anything new or anything else I could explain to those out there. I know there was a gentleman that had a Key Whiz. So for those that have Key Whiz, We don't run them anymore, but I think it was right before we kind of switched to the Omega drives. We kind of were running with key whizzes for a while. But I believe start. I believe you can come in to change key whiz. And I believe if you have to restore your backups, I believe you can do that. I know the folder for it's in tools. Again, this is just for people that have a key whiz. I'm not trying to confuse people, but there's just been, people that have upgraded to Omega, and then you guys got the key whiz yet. And I know there was a few that were just running into issues of it not working or things like that. So if you can kind of see, we come off to the left here into our tools folder. I know where the key whiz data folder is. So that's where I believe the mapping is for Omega. Where was it now? I've seen it in here. KW data. So if you open up that key whiz, on the bottom left, like I did there, if you have a key whiz, this will probably pull it up, and then I believe you can open and pull this key whiz data file, and that should be the mapping for Omega inside of there for those that have that key whiz, and those are just going to be on older machines. I have a 2-player pedestal machine and would like to add some add-ons such as a better PC, an active marquee, and possibly new artwork. Can you do that if I ship it in? Yeah, we can certainly do that for you. We can certainly do all that for you. You're just going to make sure it's all packaged up really good, you guys. I mean, we pallet these things and they get shipped out through semi and things like that. So my concern with you shipping that back is, you're going to want that well packaged. I mean, and shipping costs right now are kind of through the roof. I mean, obviously we could build you a new PC here. Putting an active marquee on a pedestal is a little bit of work right now because we use the hinges and all that to go with it. And artwork can be a challenge too sometimes. But yeah, I mean, we can certainly, if you can get it shipped here and things like that. Like I said, just my main concern is that I don't want it to get damaged through the shipping process, just because, like I said, when we do it here, they go on pallets. We build a frame around the dang thing and things like that to really protect it. So, if you decide to go that route with doing all that, I would just make sure that you're shipping it with a good company. You got it well protected, because I don't want it to show up here and it's all damaged, and then we're having to fix all that to go with it too as well. How do you route the RGB cable / lighting in the inside of the cabinet? Where do you mount the RGB controller and power supply? So on a Mega-Cade with these bad boys, so yeah, let me take my phone off here, Rob. Let's get out of this. I'll put something on the front here instead of this stuff. I'll show you what I do. It's right now, this machine is kind of a little bit of a mess, so you guys are gonna have to kind of look with some blinders, because again, I do a way better job of wire managing. Again, this thing was just whipped together quick to get it on the live, to show off the new T-molding and things like that. And then ultimately, if somebody buys it, obviously it'll get all cleaned up and all that good stuff to go with it. So yeah, I'll kind of show you what I did here and what worked for me. Kind of when you first do these things, and you kind of have different revisions of how you do things like that. But I will do my best. So just kind of showing the panel. We used like these controller boxes. Is for the T-molding. This is for the T-molding. We got this. All came off Amazon through BTF Lighting. We ran the Cobb LEDs. I can show you everything that I've used. So this is usually, I mean, what is this? This is the controller kit. So you get, you get the controller with it. Um, these are the things underneath, and you can hook these things up to your Wi-Fi, things like that, in an app. And I believe you can do a lot more. Like I said, I haven't had time to experiment with that yet. That's the controller. I'm just trying to find. And these are the lighting. This is the lighting we're using right now. So, but you can see I had to. What I did, we can get two of these. I think, how long are they? This is what I did. I can just kind of explain to you what I did. Um, Length. So there's two of these that come 24 feet in length. And then for Mega-Cade with an active marquee, like I said, I had to redesign this. More rounded corners, but it was 18 and a half feet all the way around. And then, both sides, I was able to have extra out of the two packages. And then I butt soldered the extra lighting to run around the panel. And then obviously this is just soldered wire that I came and ran into a controller box. And then I have the power tied in through the other box inside, and then these connect with a connector. And you get these extra connectors too with it. And then you can just see here, you guys, red is positive, green is your data, and your white is your ground. And then with the T-molding, when I did all this starts and stops here is where we started it and stopped it. And then the end that comes originally with the lighting goes in here. I'll try to give you a picture as good as I can from the inside. But this is basically notched to run that in the inside through here to plug it in. So again, so you can kind of see here, I have it notched. And then it runs down. This all runs off of this big power supply. It's a 24 volt. This light takes. So it runs off that big power supply, and then I have it tied in like this. You can plug this directly into here, but I just ran the separate lighting off of this. One to the panel and one going to this box. And then there's two inputs on each box. So, one runs to the left, one runs to the right off of that box. So hopefully that gives you kind of some insight of how I did that. Like I said, I don't know how well it would work on a machine. Critter Crunch, we'll definitely look into that. But yeah, like I said, ultimately I kind of had to just redesign the machine to have more rounded corners to run this lighting and this T-molding and stuff like that. And you got to kind of heat it up to get it to bend around the corners a little bit better, things like that. So there's a little bit of kind of insight with that, but we'll get into, is Critter Crunch a light gun game? I can't remember. Because like I said, on this unit, I don't have guns on it right now, you guys. This is, like I said, just like basically a pre-build. It's ready to go, get bought, and then we can throw guns, sensors, things like that into it too as well. Should be on Steam. I know we've added a ton of games to the unit, but I will certainly check here. Yeah, and like I said, I mean, it's like I just have the drives set in there, you guys. The computer's not even locked down in there. Like the wire management is not up to like what I like it. So that's what I was saying. You just got to kind of look past some of that right now. And then ultimately, when when our customers order the machine, that it'll get all cleaned up and look nice. It's just to basically showcase the RGB lighting, things like that. But let's look at the Critter Crunch. See if I can find it. So if For on the main folder, if you hit your player 2 coin button, you can do a general search of the 50,000 plus games, whatever number it is nowadays, of the entire library. So that's just where I'm going to go right now. Yeah. Like I said, I don't think the T-molding. It might. I mean, you could notch the corner, but this T-molding, this channel T-molding stuff is like $4 a foot or $3 a foot, depending on like how much you buy. So the stuff is really expensive. I think it's like $160 or more to do a whole machine in this T-molding. But you could certainly do your panel. Yeah. Like I said, you might have a hard time having the stuff run, and I don't know how much it'll pinch on. Yeah, like a Mega-Cade that was designed a little bit older. I mean, I've seen people do it. So maybe with this cob lighting and it's got the protective like silicone on it and things like that, it might work. But definitely you could deck out your T-molding. I think that's what Arcade Adam did. Same thing as like ran the T-molding around his panel and did the cob lighting or COB lighting, whatever. I'm just gonna go with Critter. Oh, Critter Crunch. There it is. There we go. I'm assuming I might need an Xbox controller. I guess I'll find out. The aftermarket's kind of funny. The lights, the eyes, and then he lights a lighter. And oh, I might not need a controller for this. I don't know how this game is gonna work, but let's check it out. Yeah, the panel I didn't redesign at all. I didn't have to round the corners on that. That seemed to all work okay. I mean, online when you look at this stuff and when you read the description of the T-molding, the art, the T-molding that you can get. I mean, it says it requires a 3-inch radius because typically they tell you to put the T-molding in and then run the lighting in after, but that doesn't work very well. Yeah, I know. Like I said, the stuff is expensive. It's expensive, but it does look nice, you guys. It really does look nice. In my opinion, it's better than the old stuff. Um, and we can go around the whole machine too, which is super cool. The other stuff we couldn't just because they only sold it in like 16.5 foot sections. So it looks like you can just use trackball, mouse clicks, enter a name. I'll hook up my keyboard quick. Let's just go with EHA. What the heck where's the E? There you go. For extreme home arcades. I mean, you can always, take off one of your doors too off the back if you're concerned about heat. I believe the drive caddies, you can mount a fan to those. I don't know what size offhand. I believe like the drive caddies. Yeah, the drive caddies, you should be able to put a fan on there. I don't know right off the top of my head the specific size, you guys. I mean, if you're real handy and you're concerned about cooling, I mean, you can get even smaller fans, or I believe this is the size for the drive caddies. I can give you a measurement. I don't know, like, when you look these things up, they tell you like a millimeter. So again, like I said, I don't really know without like going and looking on Amazon. I'm not gonna go off live stream to look all that up, but usually like this should come with a drive caddy too. I don't know if the guys are sending that out, but usually this will come with should come with the back of your caddy, and then you should be able to mount a fan, and then this should blow cool air or suck out to cool your drives down, because I know the drives can get pretty hot. I know when I did that PS5 build, I put like an intake and exhaust fan on that too. So if you got like a hole saw or something, that was big enough for this, you could tie these in to basically your power supply. You should have, an extra thing that kind of looks like this down by your computer. And basically it's just 12 volts is what it's running off of. I mean, you could always tie it to your relay too if you needed to, but you should have a couple of these by your SATAs that look like this that you can plug stuff into. Hopefully that kind of helps. They kind of make all different sizes. Usually on game boxes, yeah. See, like these say 80 millimeter. So I think these are like 120, but you guys could correct me. I think these are 120 millimeter, the size, because here's like an 80 millimeter, and usually like we'll run these in our pedestals as an exhaust. So hopefully that kind of answers your question there, Cy, and helps you out a little bit with some of that stuff, bud. Got to get out some of those handy skills if you're kind of wanting to cool your stuff, I know. But there's kind of multiple ways of doing it. I mean, I can even show you on the back of the machine just kind of what I think and recommend. Like I said, when I did that PS5 machine, like down here below your bottom door, you have to see where your blocking is kind of in here. But I think I did like an exhaust out here because, this is where your computer and stuff is on this back side. And again, like I said, I just got the drives thrown in there. But like you could put an exhaust out here and do like an intake on this side. So you kind of get like, cool air, hot air out. So it kind of does the swirl effect to kind of keep everything cooling if you're worried there, bud. And like I said, pedestals I'll show you, and then we'll play some of that game. I just like to kind of give you guys as much info as I can. And then pedestals like already have this, which is an exhaust that blows out just because it is more of a confined space. There you go. But let's get into this game. So you got adventures, puzzle, challenges, survival. Looks like we can only do adventure at the moment. So we are playing Critter Crunch. Eating and pooping. Sounds like a good deal, huh? Name is Haig Hudson, and welcome to my nature show, The Unexplored. Each species relies on another to ensure its survival, occupying a position on what I have coined the food chain. Now, nowhere on Earth is this delicate balance more apparent as on the remote Crunch Choya Island. Hopefully I said that. Home to virtual dozens of strange creatures. Perhaps the most fantasizing of all Crunchola Island species is the... Okay. I'm not gonna read all this, you guys. I'll be probably here forever reading some of this stuff. So I'm just gonna skip past a lot of this. What's up, Daniel? I am not gonna be your commentator on all of that. I only got about a half hour, you guys. Trying to give you guys at least, a good hour here. I got tons of stuff to kind of get caught up on. All right. So, kind of looks like you can select. Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. That's pretty cool. Ready to learn the game? Okay, move around left or right. Okay. Use your long, sticky tongue to grab a critter and pull it into your mouth by pressing the left mouse click. I'm sure you could use an Xbox controller on this. I'm not going to hook one up for it yet, so. But it's nice that you can play it with a mouse, your trackball and mouse clicks. You can feed smaller critters into larger ones. Feeding them 2 critters will make them pop. Feed. Looks like the dragonfly to the other weird looking creature. Ah, gotcha. Okay. And then you get something to eat. Feed the green guy and a pink guy. When a critter pops, it drops a tasty jewel. Catch jewels to score points and fill up your hunger bar. Fill the hunger bar to beat the level. There we go. Beware, the stack of critters on the vine will continuously drop, so keep popping before it reaches you. Okay, are you ready to get started? I don't know. All right. There we go. There we go. Nice. Uh-oh. Am I stuck now? There we go. I think I need Nice. Oops. I get it. You can feed the one guy the one, and then you can not have to feed him 2 of the green guys. It kind of seems like. So you can feed. It looks like this. There we go. Yeah, I can definitely see where this could be addicting. All right. Let's start one more, eh? Again, if you have any other game requests too, I'll definitely go hunt them down and see if we have them, and then see how bad I either can get my butt whipped or how good I can do. A green that has eaten a thing will become full. Okay. It only takes one to pop. Yeah, see, I already figured that out. Watch for critters arranged like this. It's a chance for a food chain, okay? Feed a blue bug to the green guy and watch the pink guy gobble him up and pop. Up a special coin that temporarily boosts the value of your regular chains. The coin is the top right corner is your bonus timer. By the way, if you want the next row of critters to drop down the vine more quickly, hold the middle button, the middle click. Alright, let's see if I can do it. Oh. Okay. Uh-oh. I'll have to get back to that person right at the moment. I will get back to that person. All right. Ah. Oh, I see. You can just feed the one guy right above. I got it. There we go. To add games to Technopair, like the process. Oh, geez. I know David showed me a while back, Vinny. Um, I don't know off the top of my head. I can kind of look into it, bud, and see what I can come up with. Um, and see how we can do that. But David will be back on Monday, you guys. And he knows a little bit more than on that stuff than I do. I'm still kind of learning all that, you guys. Like I said, I think he showed me once. And it's probably, I think it's been a little while. And you try to remember all that stuff on how to do it. I should probably get better at writing stuff down, things like that. But let's see what we can do with it. See what I can look into and find here for you. That's all I can give you, Vinny, dude. I know if you're on the Discord, on our Discord channel, I know there's like the Nick in there and some of those guys. They know too better than I do. But let's see, like I said. So to find Techno Parrot, so the newest updated version, and you guys, I believe you guys can update this one too. Because I believe if you update it, I think you will get some of the like I think 2006 and 7 Golden Tee if you don't have the newer drive set. But um, so if we come to the bottom, the File Explorer, if we open that up, and then if you come over to your left to your Omega Expansion Drive A or W drive and click on that, I will try to walk you through the best that I can. So bear with me on camera, you guys. And then we go to the expansion emulators up here, Techno Parrot. And then if you scroll all the way down, you're looking for Techno Parrot UI.exe. If we double click on that, this is where you find the expansion Techno Parrot folder, the updated one. I mean, you can go on some of those newer games and hit your player one coin and then be able to get into them that way too as well. But to find them on your desktop, this is how we can go about it doing it. And then like I said, usually with this, I know we can update this one. So we come here. It looks like add game here. I don't know if you see that, Vinny. So I believe you can add game there. But first thing you want to do is I check for updates because you want to have it updated to the newest version on this one, and then I would just go and install them. This is going to install the updates. It's going to do its thing. It's going to probably end up, kicking it back out and then restarting. And then just remember, you will have to be hooked up to the internet for this. No, the one on the taskbar is the older version that runs some of our older stuff. Because some people just buy the base drive package, you guys. So we tried to like make it, for multiple kind of customers, So like the one for like base games and stuff, if somebody only gets, the 2 terabyte boot drive and then just wants the 18 terabyte drive, that version of Techno Parrot's right on the taskbar. But the one for all the expansion stuff is, yeah, you got to kind of go through a little bit to get to it. I'm just going to continue without supporting. And then now we're updated. And then, like I said, usually when you update, so right now, yeah, they have like 2006 and 7 Golden Tee. They have for free now. And it looks like some of the gun games too, they also made for free as well. Powered Putt, you still got to have a subscription. Silver Strike, you do too. But yeah, you can go here, add game, and then yeah, you'll get the game list from here. You can see it. I believe all the games that they offer are going to be right inside of here. And then I believe you can add game, and continue. Like I said, I've never gone. I know David did this with me once. So I don't know the full process of it. And I'm not gonna go through that right at the moment. Yeah, no problem, Benny. If I own one of these machines or had this stuff, like I would poke around a little bit more with it, but fortunately I don't. I don't have the funds for that. Especially the way prices are with computer parts nowadays. So we're just gonna jump right back into some more gameplay for about the next 15 minutes. Again, if you have any other questions, let me know too as well. We can look into it quick and see what I can find and come up with you guys. But I'm just gonna jump right back in a big box and I'll go to the one of our newer expansions and just kind of cycle through some of the games, see if I can't find something to throw up and play for a little bit, so you guys can kind of keep on chanting. Again, if you have any other things that you need help with, just let me know in the comments. See what else I can find here to kind of jump into. I don't have like controllers connected, so see if I can find either a fighter or a side scroller. But for those that don't have the expansion drive E, this kind of gives you a little peek to what's on here. I'm not going to watch every single trailer video. But some of these games do look pretty intriguing. Outrun 2. I'm kind of curious on this one. I'm just kind of curious on this one. Oh, it does run on a Technobear. I wonder if it's a subscription game. I don't know if he had this like programmed to the control deck. We'll find out. Oh, sweet. Yeah, this is probably a dual analog just because of the probably feedback wheel. I'm just kind of curious. Outrun 2. Input. Yes. Yeah, it's set up for Xbox controller.
There's nothing like creating worlds.
Let's see what else I can find. I think I played the Pac-Man game last time.
The keepers of the flame. So
Or just like a fighter I can throw quick. Thanks, appreciate it. And kind of back up maybe a bit. I'll just kind of back up maybe a bit. Just so some people can see the machine a little bit more until we get into a game. Not sure what drive ladder you're up to right now, but we had just released Super Expansion Drive E, which is a 22 terabyte add-on at the beginning of the year. So in total right now, with the 2 terabyte M.2 drive, we're at 88 terabytes of drive space, you guys. Yep, there's a PC. So yeah, high-end gaming PC in the units. Price on depends on what you're looking for. Check out our website, extremehomearcades.com, for that kind of pricing and stuff, and kind of looking what you want to do with a machine. Yes, high-end gaming PC. So we are using right now, base computers are 12th gen i5, 32 gigs of RAM, 3050, 650 watt power supply, and an open frame case. Running M.2, 2 terabyte boot drive right on the computer, so 10 times faster speeds than an SSD. And then right now we got 5 of those big drives. I think I only have A and B drives. Yeah, so we have C, D, and E, bud. Short clips. So C, D, and E we offer. So just alone in there, I mean, you're going to add another probably 5,000 plus games on all those drives. I believe we can fit about 14 or 1,500 more games roughly on those big 16 terabyte drives. Just because, again, a lot of newer games these days take up a lot more space. Subscribe, now check it out. Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, just to give you prices on stuff, it's just going to be better to direct you right to our website. Um, Again, for those customers that are kind of looking on doing builds and things like that, check out our other Machine of the Week videos to kind of get ideas on artwork, moldings, things you want added on, RGB buttons, Tron stick spinners, kind of all that good stuff to kind of go with it. What do you mean having the drives open instead of in a case? I guess I don't know what you're trying to. Usually we put them in a case no matter what. It just I know they like people sell different kinds of cases. I know sometimes when David, some of you guys upgrade the machines and things like that. I know David will put them in a case where you can just plug it through 3.0 USB, things like that. But we do use an open case for our drives, and like I said, you can run fans and stuff on it too to keep drives cooler, and all that good stuff that kind of go with it. It's just easier to kind of stack and store, especially multiple drives and kind of like a drive caddy. And for those customers too that are possibly watching, or you're looking to purchase a machine, I'm just cycling through one of our expansions. We do have all the classics too, you guys. All the Pac-Mans, Galagas, all that stuff too, to go with it. Yeah, and then some of you customers like size. It's on the boot drive too as well. And just so you're aware, drives and prices have gone up. I believe I was pricing out some of the stuff, and he's charging 460 for the 16 terabyte add-ons, which are the A, B, C, D, and then for that 22 terabyte, I believe it was 560 for that one. So just to kind of give you a little bit of a price on some of that stuff. And the M.2 I think was 260 or 80, but again, don't quote me on all that. I think that's what he was kind of pricing stuff out at, though, roughly around that price range. So to just kind of give you an idea. But yeah, short clips, if you're gonna ultimately do that, and pull the trigger and just do all that and send the drives in, you can always send us an email too, just to kind of say, hey, I'm looking to send in my drives, blah blah blah. But if once you guys do it, just remember to include like a little note in there, name, email, phone number, address, and then what you're kind of looking to do when you send your drives in, you guys, because sometimes if you send your drives in and don't put anything in there, we don't know sometimes where that's coming from, where it's going to go, what you're looking to do. So it just kind of makes it easier on our end, when you kind of send that stuff in, to just give us all that info so we don't have to try to hunt all that down. It'd be just much appreciated. Presidential, what's this? Beatdown. Oh, jeez. All right. I'll just kind of keep cycling through the games, you guys, because there's some of you that are asking questions. So feel free again to ask any other questions. I'll just kind of keep cycling through. If I find something that I can pop up quick, we'll play it. By the time I try to fire up some of these games, get it going, and usually it takes 10 minutes, depending on the introduction of the game, things like that too. So. One man with his magic superpowers. The game looks pretty interesting if you're into flight games. "21 campaign missions." Interesting. Pub toilet simulator. All right. For all your pub toilet simulation needs, puck off. That's what you say, I guess, when you get mad at somebody. Just tell them to puck off. Puzzle quests. Definitely some interesting titles though into this expansion. I've never really got to go kind of through the whole thing yet, you guys, and look at some of the games that are in here.
Yeah, I got it. It's parked right next to the road.
Rage of the Dragons. Neo. Oh, it's like a fighter. Sure, let's load this one up quick, huh? Ah, there we go, X input. Woohoo! Yeah, so that's what some of the games I'm playing right now, short clips, are on. Like I said, these are on the E drive. So let's check out this game for a few minutes here, you guys, right before the end of the stream. Got to dust off my Mike Tyson pedestal. There you go. Do you know your PC specs in that? I mean, did you get your computer upgraded last time you got new drives? How old is your system? I'm just kind of curious. This is the game mode. Arcade. And let's just go to play. to play with. 2021, so it's not too bad. I mean, did you? I think that you might have had Manhattan then at the time when you probably got your machine. I think we got switched over to Omega in 2022. Oh, I got to get upgrades. Yeah, like what about your PC? I'd just be curious. Like I said, your PC specs. Let's go with her. No, I got some stuff going on, you guys. It's like the end of the school year for my kids. So I was gonna do it. Things kind of got changed on me. Yeah, I was gonna do it yesterday, and then I had to just switch to do it today, Nick. Um, my kids got some stuff going on with school tomorrow, so I'm gonna end up coming in the morning and then leave for like the afternoon, and then come back later on and get some more work done. But I would just love to be there to support my kids since it's the end of the school year. You know, they're graduating, doing a few fun things. So I just love, like I said, love to be there for my kids. Be as good of a father as I can be. You know. Oh, I've got my butt whipped though. That's all right. I kind of walked away from the controls there for a minute. Let's see what I can do here. Wow. Holy cow. Okay. Apparently, I am no good at this game. Never played it. I don't know the control set or anything to go with it. So, anyways, it does look like a fun game. I'm sure, like I said, if I learned the controls and things like that, I kind of got in it a little bit better, I would know more. But whatever. You get your butt whipped every now and again sometimes. What can I know? Exit. Okay. Looks like I hit my player one coin and then I was able to get to the menu. There we go. We're going to end the live stream there, you guys. Again, I'm sorry about the confusion with the live streams. Hopefully, it all kind of worked out for everybody. I know some of you main guys like Nick and stuff weren't able to kind of join in with it. But yeah, I'm sorry about last minute switching, you guys. Like I said, David is gone until Monday. So I'm like manning the phones, doing the emails, you know, keeping the process of machines going with panels and quality checking and painting and all that to go with it. So bear with me. We'll get back to kind of some normalcy next week with everything. So again, hopefully you guys can find some of our content here. You know, went through, showed you how to kind of fix that bus air, you guys, for right now. Again, for those that are in the Discord, David told me it wasn't a big deal. Um, you know that it doesn't do much on our machines, is what I should say. So I think it's more for like drive copying and things like that. It looked like kind of when I just kind of peeked at the program itself. So again, it easy just to shut it off in the startup apps.